1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Munib Ahmed. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has announced a development package worth 370 billion rupees for Gilgit-Baltistan with a special focus on boosting tourism. Hungary has called upon the European Union to fully support Pakistan's anti-terrorism efforts, especially after the NATO's decision to pull out from Afghanistan. Pakistan has decided to keep the crossing point at Chaman border with Afghanistan open for 18 hours in a day. At the United Nations, Pakistan has called for international cooperation on tax matters to help fund cross-border public goods and pandemic recovery. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, all parties Hurriyat Conference has expressed deep concern over infernal situation prevailing in territory since imposition of military siege on 5th August 2019. Iran has welcomed the Saudi Arabia's willingness to restore bilateral relations between two countries for peace, progress and stability in the region. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has announced a development package worth 370 billion rupees for Gilgit-Baltistan with a special focus on boosting tourism. Announcing the main features of the development package at a ceremony in Gilgit today, he said it is the first time that such a big amount will be used for development of this region. The Prime Minister said this development package will prepare the region to attract the tourists, which will benefit not only the local people but the whole country. He was confident that exploiting GB's tourism potential will make it self-reliant. He, however, emphasized the need for promotion of tourism in a planned manner to cultivate its true benefits. He said the tourism in the region should not affect the forests and the mountains. The uplift package consists of hydel projects, new roads and Babusar Tunnel, scholarships and skills training for youth, upgradation for health and education facilities, water and sanitation schemes, promotion of SMEs and expansion of airports, particularly Skardu Airport to cater international flights. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó has called upon the European Union to fully support Pakistan's anti-terrorism efforts, especially after the NATO's decision to pull out from Afghanistan. He was addressing a joint news conference along with Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi in Islamabad today after a wide-ranging talks focusing on promoting trade and economic relations. The Hungarian Foreign Minister appreciated the stabilizing role of Pakistan in the region and recognized its efforts in the Doha peace agreement between the United States and the Taliban. He said we should not allow Afghanistan to become a safe haven for terrorists again after the NATO's pullout. Sharing details of his talks with Foreign Minister Qureshi, he said we have taken decisions to improve our economic cooperation for the benefit of the two countries. Pakistan has announced that Chaman border crossing point will remain operational for 18 hours a day with immediate effect. A notification to this effect was issued Ministry of Interior today. President Dr. Arif Alvi has warned that the increasing coronavirus cases in the country will make the situation out of control for hospitals. In a video message today, he urged the people to strictly adhere to SOP's precautions to overcome this challenge. The president asked the public to wear face masks and follow SOPs during Ramadan, Taraweeh, Yom Ali and Eid. He said as per directions of ulema, elderly people should not go to mosques for offering Taraweeh. Meanwhile, in a tweet, National Command and Operations Center has announced that all vaccination centers across the country will remain open tomorrow despite public holiday. British High Commissioner Kristen Turner called on Minister for Information and Broadcasting Chaudhry Fawad Hussain in Islamabad today. During the meeting, Chaudhry Fawad Hussain emphasized to promote cultural linkage between Pakistan and the United Kingdom. The minister apprised the High Commissioner regarding the government's initiative to establish Media Technology University and sought assistance to build it on the pattern of top UK universities. The British envoy assured of maximum support on the proposals put forth by the Information Minister. He also appreciated the ongoing vaccination campaign against COVID-19 pandemic in Pakistan. Chinese Ambassador Nong Rong called on Air Chief Marshal Zahir Ahmad Babar Sidhu in Islamabad today. The ambassador congratulated the Air Chief on assuming command of the PAF and said that Pakistan Air Force would achieve new heights and glory under his inspirational leadership. The Air Chief expressed his satisfaction on the existing cooperation between PAF and PLAAF and reiterated that this cooperation would be further strengthened. Various matters of mutual interest and bilateral cooperation were also discussed in the meeting. Meanwhile, Indonesian Ambassador to Pakistan Adam Mullah Warman called on Naval Chief Admiral Muhammad Amjad Khan Niazi in Islamabad and discussed regional security situation and bilateral maritime cooperation. The South Korea has shown keen interest for investment in various sectors in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The South Korean ambassador Su Shangpyo and the Chief Minister Mahmood Khan at a meeting in Peshawar today discussed matters of mutual interest including investment in hydel and local government sectors in the province. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Munir Akram, has called for international cooperation on tax matters to help fund cross-border public goods and pandemic recovery. Munir Akram, who is also president of UN Social and Economic Council, in his remarks, a special meeting of World Body on International Tax Cooperation underscored the need to work together to stop the drainage of resources caused by illicit financial flows as well as corporate and personal tax evasion. He said there is an urgency to put an end to the tax havens which enable profit-shifting practices by the big multinational corporations. A protest rally held in Muzaffarabad today demanded the Indian government to release Hurriyat leaders and workers being illegally detained in different Indian jails and in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The participants of the rally, holding banners, placards and pictures of the detained leaders, raised anti-India and pro-freedom slogans. The speakers demanded the UN and World Human Rights Organizations to guarantee Kashmiri's right to self-determination and put pressure on India to set free detained leaders and give fundamental rights to the people of the occupied territory. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has expressed deep concern over this infernal situation prevailing in the territory since the imposition of military siege on 5th August 2019 by Narendra Modi-led Indian fascist regime. The APSC Working Vice Chairman Ghulam Ahmad Gulzar, in a statement issued at Srinagar, said the people of Kashmir have a fundamental right to decide their future as per the resolutions of the United Nations Security Council, to which India is a signatory. Iran has welcomed the Saudi Arabia's willingness to restore bilateral relations between two countries for peace, progress and stability in the region. In a statement, Foreign Minister spokesman Saeed Khatibzadeh hoped that both countries can work together to ease tensions. He said with a dialogue-oriented approach, Iran and Saudi Arabia can enter a new chapter of interaction and cooperation to achieve peace and stability in the region. NATO has started withdrawal of its mission from Afghanistan following a decision by President Joe Biden to bring U.S. forces home. In a statement, a NATO official said the safety of troops will be a top priority and relationship with Afghanistan will not end. He said any attack during the withdrawal will be met with a forceful response, while withdrawal will be completed within a few months. In Israel, at least 4 people have been killed and over 100 injured in a stampede at a crowded religious annual festival celebrated at the foot of Mount Meron. Police sources said the festival started over some attendees slipped on steps, which caused dozens more to fall. Tens of thousands of Orthodox Jews attended the all-night festival, making it the largest event in Israel since the coronavirus pandemic outbreak. On the second day of first test match against Zimbabwe at Harare, Pakistan in their first innings were 282 for 4 a short while ago. Earlier, Zimbabwe in their first innings scored 176 runs all out. And finally, the weather. Hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while light rain with wind thunderstorm is expected in Balochistan, Upper Sindh, Central and Lower Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Kashmir during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.